Good morning all. Today I'm looking at the Eachine LCD5802S 5.8 GHz diversity LCD screen receiver monitor, which has a 7-inch LCD, TFT LCD, long life LED backlight, quite a high resolution, 800 by 480 pixels, high brightness, 600 candelas per square meter, and a 140-120 degree horizontal vertical viewing angle. So let's see what's inside. There's a cleaning cloth here, presumably to clean the LCD if it gets a bit mucky. User guide. Here's the monitor receiver unit itself. Let's just take that out of its bag. You can see the two antenna connectors on the top there. I'll come back to that in a moment. Now under here we've got mains power lead, that's USA, so I won't be using that. A couple of 5.8 gig antennas, aerials if you like. The power pack, which is a 12 volt power unit, but it's got one of these, what's that, figure of 8 mains connectors so that I can use my own cable on that. Also we've got two of these video and audio cables with a little 2.5mm multi-way connector there. And I think that's everything. No, that isn't quite everything, because under the receiver unit we've got a little fabric bag to protect the receiver if you're carrying it about. So this is the receiver unit, which has the lid closed at the moment. Let's look at all the plugs and sockets. We've got SMA connectors for antenna A and antenna B. Now on this side we've got receiver A, audio-visual out. Let's just focus up. We've got receiver RFB, audio-visual out, and diversity, audio-visual out. Now I'll explain what diversity is in a little while. We've also got an AV in, so that you can put audio-visual in and just use this as a monitor. We've got a 12 volt DC input, which not only runs the monitor but also charges the battery. This thing has a battery in it. Underneath there is a 1/4 inch tripod thread screw. There's also this slotted system here for mounting it. Now I don't know what this is called, and I did try looking this up, but I can't see any references to this kind of slot thing. But clearly you slide something up in there to mount this. Now I don't know whether you can see this. Let me just get a torch. Behind this grill there is some blue plastic. Yes, you can see it now. So that's the LiPo. I think it's a 2-cell 7.4 volt LiPo. So this has its own built-in rechargeable battery. And the second grill here is almost certainly where the loudspeaker is mounted, because this has audio system built in as well. Okay, let's open the lid. Now it can be a bit difficult to open this, but when you open it, these flaps come up, which creates a sort of cowling. And that's useful for keeping the sun off the screen when you're flying a quadcopter or whatever you're using this unit for. FPV, of course, quadcopter, FPV is the primary use. So yes, that keeps the sun off the screen. You've got these curved side pieces to keep side sun off, and the lid keeps it off the top, so that gives you a good shadow across the screen. Now I'm going to peel off the LCD's protective cover, which is this sheet. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while because I have been using this monitor, and with this screen protector on, it is rather reflective, so I think it's going to be a lot better without it. You can see here that it's got marks where the rain got on it, because I was trying to do some range tests of a transmitter, but it started raining and this thing got very wet. Right, today is not the day for this, because the monitor receiver thing here is absolutely soaking wet, so I'm abandoning today. I'll return on a better day. So let's take a look at the buttons down here. Now these three things here look like buttons, and I have pressed them thinking they're buttons, but they're not, they're LEDs. This is receiver A, to show you that receiver A is selected. This is the LED for receiver B, and this is the LED for the battery. It goes green when it's fully charged, it's red when it's charging. Now you've got a band plus button here and a channel plus button, because there are 4 bands, 8 channels within each band, so you can separately select channels and bands. There's a menu button here. This is the search button, which does an auto search for a audio video signal, and this is source to select either receiver A, receiver B, diversity, or AV in, and this is the power switch. So let's switch on, press and hold that for a while, and one of the things you notice immediately is that it doesn't blue screen when you've got no signal, and that's extremely important for FPV flying, because a snowy signal with at least some recognizable features is better than the whole thing just going blue screen. So this unit never goes blue screen. So on the screen we've got which receiver is selected, diversity. Now if I press source, I can change that to receiver A or receiver B, you can just about see there, or audio visual in, and back to diversity. You can see here with the red LED that it's currently got receiver A selected. Now there's no signal on either receiver, but it's defaulted to A by the looks of things. This battery LED is not on, so I presume it comes on red when the battery gets low. And now let's look at the on-screen menu system. We have adjustments for brightness, contrast, color, sharpness, rotation, I imagine that's 180 degrees only, volume, power off, language, currently set to English, and an exit. Now I've got a little audio video transmitter here. There's a camera here with its own miniature microphone, 5 gig, 10 milliwatt transmitter, and some batteries. So I'm going to switch that on, and we should get a picture on the monitor. But what I'm going to do is just put this over here and then go through the auto scanning. So this is on a channel which is not receiving anything, so let's do a search, and it starts scanning through channel A, or band A, band C now. Now it's gone to channel 7. It's found a fairly strong signal because the transmitter is literally a few inches away, but I'm now going to have to go channel plus to put it on the actual channel that this is on, which is band C, channel 8, and there you can see the image coming from the camera. Now you can probably see from the image on the back there are no aerials, and you can certainly see there are no aerials there. So let's put a couple of those on and check out the diversity system. So I've put the transmitter some distance away, just outside the door. You can just see me sitting on the chair there. Now the diversity system picks the strongest reception. So if channel B has the strongest reception, it simply switches to channel B. If channel A has the strongest reception, and this can vary depending on the orientation of either the transmitter or the receiver. If the polarizations are mismatched, then it will flick to the other receiver. So it's on A there, it's on B there. Now I'm using 2 rubber duck aerials, one pointing 45 degrees to the right, one 45 degrees to the left. So the diversity system therefore can give me the ability to switch between the 2 aerials to keep polarization, but you can also do something a bit different. You could, for example, put a rubber duck antenna on one of the receivers and a mushroom antenna or a circularly polarized antenna on the other, and then the diversity system will simply switch between whichever antenna happens to be working best at any one time. Now the switching is incredibly fast. It's instant. It has no effect on the signal quality at all. There isn't even a little glitch. It's completely seamless. It works flawlessly. Now just one minor gripe I have: when you put the menu up and you want to increase the brightness, for example, you have to press band plus for increase and channel plus is decrease. It would be nice if they had a little plus and minus symbol on there so that you know which way to press these buttons to increase and decrease all these settings. But overall this is a fantastic piece of equipment. The screen is sharp, high resolution, bright. It's all-in-one design with internal battery, saves you having to carry a separate monitor, receiver and power source. This is all self-contained. The various output sockets here mean that you can send the signal that you're receiving to a second monitor. I've got a second monitor here, or a pair of goggles. Now I've just noticed that this monitor is in 4:3 and it looks a bit more natural than the 16:9 on this monitor. So I'm going to see if I can change the aspect ratio on the unit itself. Well, now I've been through the menus and it doesn't look like there's an aspect ratio control. And you can see if I hold this £2 coin up to the camera, it's circular. Well, it isn't quite circular on the monitor above because the monitor's not flat on. I'll angle that up. So yes, you can see that the £2 coin is circular on the monitor at the top, but very much an ellipse on the monitor. Let's get that flat on the monitor at the bottom. And I don't think you have control over aspect ratio, so I will have to mark this unit down on that. Now I was going to give this unit 10 out of 10 because it is absolutely excellent, but I'm not sure I can now because of this lack of an aspect ratio control. I think most of these cameras are going to be 4:3 aspect ratio, and this unit looks like it's 16:9, but there's no way to alter it. I mean, you would get used to it after a while, but it's not ideal. So that's the Eachine LCD5802S 5.8 GHz diversity LCD screen receiver monitor. So this item came from banggood.com. It's currently £69.72. I'll just get that in dollars. So in dollars that's $105.99, and I will put a link to this item in the description. Cheerio.